Karen Booth, and I'm here today with Carol Hill. She is the director and an investor of Kentucky Fresh Harvest here in beautiful Stanford, Kentucky. We have some friends here today with us that are going to probably wander around a little bit. But I asked Carol here today because she is bravely feeding people. And so I want to talk a little bit about the way that she is bravely investing in feeding people. Carol, thank you so much for having us out today.
Absolutely.
I've known you for a long time, and I know you as a very loving, giving, strong woman, very family oriented, faith led. And you're a civic leader, you're an attorney, you're this, and this. What led you to invest your money, your time, your talent in feeding people?
Well, I can distinctly remember I got a call from a sorority sister of mine from college in February of 2015. And she said her husband was working with some people to bring a commercial greenhouse into the state of Kentucky. And to me, it just hit. I'd been very fortunate to be able to travel quite a bit. I know that greenhouse production is a huge part of the food chain in other countries. In the United States, we've been blessed with so much open land. We've not had like the Netherlands and Europe where land is so precious that controlled grow is such a big part of their food chain and has been for a very long time. But I have traveled to other countries. I've seen those greenhouses, and I knew that that was a very viable business worldwide. And about that time, I think there was a lot of news stories on when we were going to meet 8 billion people on Earth, 9 billion, and so on and so forth. And I just think to feed the world, we are going to have to go to more protected grow, controlled grow. And certainly in the 6 years that I've been involved with this, well, 8 years now that I've been involved with this project, every time you turn on the TV, Mother Nature has shown her power. And we've had floods, we've had droughts. The water usage is such a big issue around the world. And I just was super enthralled. I felt super led and called to work on this project. And had been an assistant county attorney. I'd been a city attorney. I knew we had just built a brand new industrial park, and we had a brand new road that had been finished to I-75, and we were just fabulously situated for this opportunity, and it would bring jobs to this area. And so I started out kind of as an ambassador for Lincoln County. In fact, I think my absolute words were, "Come on down. We have a brand new industrial park and a road headed straight to I-75. We've got, a fabulous place to locate this." Well, then, things and different things happened, and so it was about another 18 months when it finally came to fruition, and we broke ground on this facility.
Well, it's a beautiful place. We've been out there, we had a tour. It is huge.
We've got about 10 acres, a little over 10 acres under roof right now that is producing. Or in the cycle of production, because we're trying to do it year round.
Yeah, how has the local community responded?
Well, I don't know if you saw on the news, I think it was back in the spring, there was a lot of publicity on the Northern Lights and how beautiful they are. Well, we have the grow lights, and so we have our own Northern Lights during the winter months. And I think that for every complaint we've got about 99 people that are like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. I can see the lights, 15, 20 miles away. So I think overall we had to work on the planning and zoning a little bit. And I think that there have not been any complaints. No, I won't say there won't be been any complaints. Very few. And I think that, again, much, much more favorable than non-favorable.
Yeah, that's great. This is, for people who don't know where we are. We are in Stanford, Kentucky, and it is a beautiful little town, well taken care of. People are invested in the community here, and they take care of one another. It's one of the beauties of a small Kentucky town.
Small town USA.
That's
yes.
right. We love it. I got my little buddy here. So I'm taking all of this on, these huge greenhouses, something brand new. You're entering into a new agriculture for Kentucky, right? You said you were called to do it, which I love those words. But was there, do you feel like there was anything in particular that maybe surprised you as you dove into? You had this desire to feed people. You knew you were going to be brave. Did anything surprise you on how brave you needed to be?
I can honestly say that I feel like over the last 8 years, I have lived the story of Job. And we have talking about the weather. We started the construction in 2017, and we had 10 inches above our annual rainfall. And you can imagine
That
the
slows
construction.
stuff down. Yes,
exactly.
of course.
So you're like, well, next year's going to balance out, no problem. In 2018, we had 2 feet above our annual rainfall. And you'd get something graded, and then you couldn't get it finished and covered before you had a 3-inch rain and ran rivets in it. And it was very frustrating doing things over and over, and it was definitely challenging. So then about the time things were coming together, we had a global pandemic. And then about the time you're trying to get back up and running, we have a supply chain issue, and shipping has gone up 5 times what it normally had been. So to say we had some challenges would be an understatement. But it rains on the just and the unjust, and you just put one foot in front of the other and keep on going and solving problems, and eventually you get there.
One of the things that I think that you've done very bravely is enter into this man's world. And I guess I'm wondering if that was sort of a daunting thing initially, because you are a strong woman, very brave. I would never worry about you for a second, except for that, this is, I'm in a very male dominated field as well. And I'm just curious for other women maybe looking to do the same sort of thing and bravely invest in.
Well, I would say definitely the whole situation was daunting. I think that as I went along, the Lord prepares you for what you're going to face, and you don't really know that until you're looking back. And there were several times that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why I had to deal with all this nonsense 15 years ago, because even though it's on a larger scale, this is exactly the same thing. And so there were a lot of things that I might not have realized I was prepared for, that I found I was prepared for,
Right.
and I had skills and that had been acquired in an incident that I'm like, why is this happening to me? And it's like, hey, I understand now why that happened to me. It got me prepared for this moment. So, we had an issue. I started out with 4 partners, lost 2 of them. Right now, there are 3 directors of Kentucky Fresh Harvest, and I am one of the directors. And it has been a long process, but we hope that we're going to make it to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, I think what you've done is amazing, and I thank you for being brave. I don't know if people thank you enough, but you bravely invested in the future of farming, and you bravely invested in this small town.
Absolutely,
right, that you love so
absolutely.
much.
Well, the greenhouse is. I don't even think it's a mile up the road from me. So I've grown up here in Stanford all my life. I obviously went away to college, but wanting to improve my community, and so we're doing the best we can to improve it and improve the food chain for the community and the world community,
Yeah.
the greater community.
Are there any last things that you would like to
I,
add?
I just would say that it has been a journey. I have definitely had to rely on my faith to get me through more than one situation. And I believe as passionately in this project today as I did when I started, even though we have definitely had a problem or 2 that we needed to solve.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for having us. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I'm so delighted that my 3 donkeys could come join us, because they've been trying to nibble on us, but they are glad to be here too. This is Miss Nancy Sue right here. So she says hello to all of you all out there.
And now she gets an apple.